Good morning, everybody. We got a lot of cars that have come in, so I'm gonna do a quick walkthrough of new arrivals. This one here I picked up yesterday, and it is a factory right-hand drive Cherokee. He's a 2000. Yep, this is the factory door. 1455 on the VIN. Oh, it's been sitting a while. Automatic four-wheel drive. But it's really cool to see a factory right-hand drive. A lot of them that come in that were old mill Jeeps were rigged to make them right-hand drive. So they just put an adapter to convert them. 1455, yeah, so it's a 2000. This one here was sold, bad motor, and it's pretty clean. It's got a little bit of rust on the passenger side floorboard, but not bad. Then here we got a Honda Civic Si coupe hit in the door and the fender. This one came from the auction. They said it ran and drove. And, you know, typical. I'm not a fan of that company. We do buy a lot of cars from them, though. But they said this ran and drive, or they said this runs and drives. But as you can see, there is no key. So how the hell they got it to run and drive, I have no idea. And they even took a picture of it, and the key was sitting on that column. So we called them. They said they don't guarantee keys and they don't guarantee run and drive. So why did you even bother? But whatever. Got another Honda Civic Si here. This is a 4-door. This has a bad motor, rod knock on this one. So we might do a swap. I don't know. I mean, I got a title for that one. So if I had a key, I could fix that one and sell it. This one, I don't have a title. We're thinking about making this a race car, and I'll show you the donor motor for this down here. This one here is a 2012 Subaru Outback. This is a Legacy, not an Impreza. This one here had a bad transmission, and he kept driving it. This is the story he tells me. Bad transmission, and the transmission actually messed up the motor. So the only way I can figure is tranny fluid got mixed in with the antifreeze or something like that and got into the oil. I don't know, but I haven't really dove into this car. It just showed up here yesterday. 261,000 miles. That's actually quite a bit of miles. We're still going to keep this car. It's got a lot of good body panels on it. This one here is a Nissan Maxima with a 3.5 5-speed automatic. We need the transmission. This one has a bad motor. It's pretty raggedy, I'm not gonna lie, but there's still a couple pieces on here we'll sell. We got a Fiat here. This also has a bad motor. These are real common if it's the, I think it's the 2.4. And this is the dumbest thing ever. A white steering wheel, to me, is the most retarded thing you could do in a car, because people's hands are like the nastiest thing ever. So why would you put a white steering wheel in a car? I never understood that, but I don't know, they do stuff different. They also made all the heater, AC controls, and radios in white. Like, do you really think those are gonna stay white? If this is the, I think it's a 2.4. I think is what I'm thinking. No, this has got the 1.4 in it. Anyway, they said this one here is bad. So we bought a few of these, and I think they had the 2-cylinder or 2.4 liter. I can't remember what it was in it. But anyway, every single one we would sell would always come back. Just the garbage. 2015 Nissan Altima hit in the front. We needed the transmission, so that one came in yesterday. Got a 16 Hyundai Accent hitting the front. 2013 BMW. I think this has the 2.0 turbo motor in it. We sold quite a few of those motors already, so I needed to replenish the stock on that. So this one here is a new arrival, just showed up yesterday. Also a Volkswagen Touareg with the V8. This one was sold needing an engine computer. The controls are pretty worn, which is typical for Volkswagen. I think this only had 153,000 miles on it. And the other thing I hate about Volkswagens, they put the freaking batteries under the driver's seat. That is retarded. And then Dodge decided to copy them, and they put them under the passenger front seat. Because I got a Grand Cherokee, and that's where those are located. It's the dumbest thing ever. I hate it. But that one actually looks pretty good. We're gonna pressure wash these two. We're gonna keep them in for them. Got a 18 Buick. This one here has been here a couple weeks, but you guys haven't seen it. Got an Alfa Romeo here, 2017 model. Let's see. Camry. I believe that one runs and drives. 07 Fit hitting the front. Got a 2007 Ram 2500 with a 5.9 diesel. It runs and drives. Hit the lower knuckle on this and busted it. Actually bent the frame, but that's the only damage right here. It runs and drives. 04 F-150 tore all to pieces. Got a Buick Cascadia, I think is how you pronounce this. This is a two-door coupe convertible. They didn't make a lot of these. This is the first one we've ever had. And what was interesting on this is it actually has two sets of taillights. So you have your outside taillights, and then when you go to fold the top down, say you're on the side of the road, you fold the top down, well, you still need lights. Well, when this thing flips up, you have taillights under the taillights. That way you still have lights in case you're flipping your top back, because I think this opens to let the top back. I'm not sure. I've never seen one of these actually work. This one we did not get to work because, as you can tell, this thing was wrecked and it had crash roll bars pop up, and you can see them sticking out of the top there. So they're not gonna open. Let's see, we got a 2013 Lexus back here. It's hit in the front and got the roof and all down the side. Got a Wrangler with a 4-cylinder manual transmission, 16 GMC Canyon right here, hitting the front. 04 Toyota, hitting the front. Got a turbo Subaru over here, hitting the passenger pillar. You don't see a lot of these anymore. And I cannot remember how many miles are on this one, but it actually wasn't very much. I was pretty surprised at the mileage on this one. This is something interesting here. And Mazda RX-8. Now, when these things first came out, I honestly thought they were going to be, the next collector vehicle. And I'll be honest, they're garbage. I think they're cool looking, but nobody around our area actually likes these cars. We buy a lot of them with bad motors. This one here is another bad motor. It's got 99,000 miles on it, and the body's in really good shape. They just park them behind their house, and then they sell them for junk. And that's typically how every single one of these come in. I think they're cool looking, but they just don't care about them anymore. I honestly thought these would have been, kind of collectible, but the motors are so finicky to work with, and unless you know what you're doing, they just don't last. It's a shame. Kind of a cool car. All right, let's run down here. We got a lot more to go, and I'm trying not to make this video long. This is the Honda Civic Si that's gonna use the donor motor for the race car up there. It is killed, like legit hammered. But the motor, I think, is gonna be all right. It needs the upper and lower oil pan. So we're gonna take this motor and that motor and make one. But this thing just got destroyed. This one came in just a 07 Cobalt junk. This one here is a 2007, I think, CX-9. Tore up down the driver's side. Yep. So that one came in. This one here is pretty interesting. This is a 2012 Kia Soul. This drove in. And I'm surprised it even drove. Because look, I wonder if it's got any power on it. Nope, no power. Battery's dead. Had 271,000 miles on it. Still running with a 6-speed. But yeah, this was a still running vehicle. They drove it in. It's pretty worse slap out. I'm surprised it had that many miles on it. 271,000. This one here drove in yesterday. Mazda 3, I think 2011, with aftermarket wheels. $191,550 for miles. They say the half shafts are bad and the transmission is starting to go out. So this one here will probably keep because the motor runs good. And some of these front end parts we've sold quite a few, so this will restock that. Got an 89 Mazda B2200, and this one had like 150 something thousand miles on it hitting the front, so we'll sell that motor. 07 Mustang. We got a old body 4Runner back there. Colorado bad engine and a van bad transmission. Got a Volkswagen Beetle right here. They say that there was nothing wrong with it. Runs and drives. It's got a 1.8 liter turbo with a manual transmission. I tried starting it yesterday. It's got an electrical issue. I think some mice, rats, whatever ate the heck out of the wiring, so that one's gonna get crushed. I'm not dealing with that. Spiderweb. We got a Nissan Xterra here. It's got the 6-cylinder. It's not the supercharged version. This is a 2-wheel drive, automatic, bad motor. We need the transmission, but it's got a ton of miles, like 280, 70, somewhere in there. A lot of miles. We're not keeping it. 14 Nissan Versa hitting the front. 04 Nissan Titan, bad motor. Got the V8, 2-wheel drive. Here's something you don't see every day. A Honda Del Sol. Believe this is a bad motor. I checked it out yesterday. I don't have a key, but the oil is well over full standards. So I believe she got a overheating and blew a head gasket on this thing. Oil's not mixed, but it's awful high. It hasn't run, so it's probably sitting on the bottom of the oil. But I thought these were pretty cool cars. It's got the removable top, a roll down back window. Pretty cool car. We'll sell a couple things on that. And then we got this annihilated 94 F-150. I mean, this thing is just destroyed. But we need the bed. That's the only reason I bought this truck. I got a guy who buys these beds. This is a dual tank short bed, rust free, super clean. It's a little twisted, but when you unbolt it and you bolt it back down to a frame, it should straighten it back out. So we definitely need that. 06 Escape, that had a bad transmission. 09, the heck is this thing? You don't see them very much. Amante Kia. This is their luxury vehicle when they first came out with these. Hit light in the front, but it did get this frame rail. Super low miles, like 53,000 miles on this car. I mean, it's super clean. Probably should have been fixed, but that frame rail did it in for it. It's got the V6, so we'll sell the motor on that one for sure. 19 Accent, definitely caught on fire. I don't know where the fire started, but I'm pretty sure it went under the hood, down the firewall, under the car, probably following a fuel line, and then came up past his door. And when they got out of the vehicle, they probably left the door like this and just burnt everything. It's just smoked the interior. But we'll sell the doors. We're gonna check out the motor, see if the motor's all right. It burnt all the plastics up on the motor. We're gonna tear the majority of the stuff off of the motor and check it out, make sure it's all right before we sell it. I got an 06 Sienna van, hit hard in the front and came around and caught the back passenger side of the van. 2003 Toyota Highlander, bad transmission. No, bad motor. This one's got bad motor, 250,000 miles, good transmission, two-wheel drive. We actually need that transmission, and even with that mileage, it'll still sell. 2020 Venue, Hyundai Venue, hit in the front. It's got everything from the fenders back is really nice, so this is a good piece. 2011 BMW 1 Series, hit in the front. You know, firewall back, all good. See, what is that? A 12 Chevy Sonic, bad engine. 98 Toyota T100, bad engine. 07 CRV, nothing wrong with this vehicle. The gentleman who owned it passed away. The kids did not want it. They actually trashed the interior on this vehicle. It only had 98,000 miles on it, runs and drives. Four-wheel drive, so this is a good piece. 07 GMC Denali that came from up north, I believe Michigan. She's pretty rusty. I believe that one there has a bad transmission. This, I think, is a 2011 Fit. Hit pretty hard in the front. Hopefully the motor made it. We will soon find out when I get to this one. Got a PT Cruiser hit in the front. This one will be a strip and crush vehicle. So as soon as this thing gets stripped, it's crushed. Got a Fiat 500 here. This one, it was just too cheap at the auction to pass up. I usually don't buy these at the auction. Like that blue one up there, that one came from a towing yard. When you buy from a towing yard, you pretty much have to buy everything they're selling. You can't be picky. So, you know, that one we did buy. I don't like to buy them because you don't sell anything on them. But this one here, it was cheap enough. And it's got a different motor than the ones that we kept selling that kept coming back. So I figured we'll try this motor. It's got that 1.4 in it, just like that blue one up there. But now that I see that the blue one has the 1.4 and it's a bad motor, now I'm a little scared of this one. But I think we got it for like $338 out the auction. You can't really complain. When you got a truck going there anyway, you can hook up to this one and tow it back. It's like a free car to tow back. 2018 Sentra. Yeah, Sentra hit hard in the rear. This one will part out good. Got a, what is this thing? 2011 Nissan Rogue. This had electrical issues. The electrical is all screwed up in that car. We got a Mazda 3 hit in the front. I think this is a 17 model hatchback. That door's locked on it. So, 30-day plate. We got a Chevy Sonic hit in the rear. So, good motor, good tranny. We got a Volkswagen GTI right here. So, this is a 6-speed. It's unfortunate the interior is trash, but like I said, Volkswagens, Audis, for some odd reason, their interiors do not hold up. I don't understand. This one was hit in the front. This has got the turbo motor in it, so that one should be a good part out. Got a Blazer, bad brakes, runs and drives. Runs a little funny, so I'm gonna check. I'm gonna let it run for a little while and then recheck the oil, make sure this thing don't have a head gasket issue. These 4.3s are common for that. Shoot, Chrysler Town and Country, I think a 99 model. This one here is getting crushed, as you can tell. It's got the crushed stock number on it. We're only taking the back beam axle. The reason being is there's a gentleman who buys these back axles and he makes trailers out of them. This one here is an 82. VIN plate's gone on the door. There's one on the dash, but I can't see it. I think it's an 82 F-150. This one's getting crushed. It's got the 4.9 liter straight six automatic transmission. We are going to take the hood, if it's in good shape, and both fenders and the door glass. I think that's all we need on that truck. Everything else is getting crushed. If it wasn't rust free, or I mean if it was rust free, it's rusty. As you can tell, the floor has a hole in it. Like, I need one of these cabs rust free. I got a guy who's looking for one of these cabs, and every one we get is rusted. Also, we'll sell the heck out of these beds, but this one's rusted. Typical, right underneath this tail light. That's where they start. This one has started. It's bubbling real bad. Excuse me. So if that one was in better shape, we'd keep the whole truck, but it's not. 2007 Cobalt, another one. This one's getting crushed. Bad engine, don't need it. Got a 15 Jeep. What is this, Patriot? Yeah, Jeep Patriot. Hit hard in the front, all-wheel drive. 2.4 liter, I think, is what this one's got. We'll part that one out. There's that Sonic again. Dodge Avenger rollover. I usually don't buy these at the auction, just because we get a ton of them in all the time across the scale. But this one's got the 3.6 in it, so I need the motor and the transmission. So that's the only reason we bought that one. Got a 09 Malibu. There's nothing wrong with this car, just got rust issues and would not pass inspection. So this one here is run and drive. We will go ahead and get the drivetrain out of this one. Volvo S40. Bad motor on this one. So we're gonna keep this one just because the body panels are in really good shape. Otherwise, I would not keep a Volvo. I don't like Volvos, especially having to pull the parts off of them. This one's got 153,000 miles on it. Like, I had to pull a fender off of a Volvo XC90 probably about a month ago. I was so aggravated, they riveted the inner liner into it. Like, that's so stupid. Anyway, got a Chrysler 200 here, hitting the front. So we're gonna keep that one. Got a BMW X5. This one came across the scale. This one's hitting the front. I actually crushed a couple of these out in the yard, so this one will be a replacement for those. Got a Ford Taurus. This one's hitting on the passenger side. I usually don't keep these Tauruses just because they're kind of getting outdated. But this one had decently low miles. Not crazy low, but low enough that I'm gonna keep it. And it's got the transmission that seems that people are looking for. So we're gonna keep this one. I don't know why Ford did it, but they make like 6 different transmissions for this car. And it matters on if it's floor shift, column shift, and then the transmission code in the pillar. So this one ended up being the one that people are looking for. That's the reason this one's here. Otherwise, it would be in that crush pile over there. We got a Jaguar X-Type. And I actually used to own one of these cars. I bought it wrecked. I went to fix it, and then I realized that the transmission fluid was absolutely absurdly expensive because it took out the tranny cooler and it drained the whole transmission full of fluid. And from everything I was reading, you really need to use Jaguar specified transmission fluid. Well, that stuff was so dang expensive, I sold the car just to get out of it. This one here, I cannot remember what they said was wrong with it. I think a bad motor. I'm not sure, but man, it's awful clean. So we haven't had an X-Type here for a while. So we're gonna go ahead and inventory this one. And it's in like my favorite color combination. I love green with tan interior. That's like my favorite color combo. So I couldn't see it get crushed. So we'll inventory it, see what we sell. It'll sit out here for about a year and then we'll reevaluate. And if it did good, cool. If not, well, you know it's bound. It's gonna get ripped up. We got an older model Toyota Sienna, hit in the passenger front, busted the strut, and they sold it for junk. So we're gonna inventory this one. It'll sit out here for a couple months and then this one will get crushed. I don't remember how many miles were on it, but it was under 200, so that's good enough. We'll keep that one. Got a Dodge Caravan with a 4-liter. It has a bad motor. Yes, this one bad motor, but we need the transmission. So, and we'll actually sell a lot of front end pieces off this vehicle, which looks to be in really good shape. So we'll keep this one. Also have a 13, I believe, Ford Explorer hitting the front. Yeah, that was a 13. Little bit of a raggedy on the inside. Looks like they didn't really want to clean it much. But for the price at the auction, I can't really complain. It's all-wheel drive, XLT, so this will be a good piece. Ford Escape, I think in 2009 or 10, somewhere in there. Hit on the passenger front corner. Looks like they sideswiped a tree. As you can tell, the bark that's still in the door. Yep, that'd be a tree. So we're keeping that one. Good drivetrain. V6 Pontiac G6. This one was hitting the front. We don't really sell anything on these, but we do need the motor and transmission. We haven't had one of those in a while, so this one's going into inventory. This one was interesting. This one was sold yesterday to us. 2002 F250. It's got the 5.4 liter automatic 4-wheel drive. And they sold it because the transmission was leaking. Well, I started it last night. The transmission fluid is where it's supposed to be, but the transmission is slipping. 235 or 38,000 miles on this, and this was a Lariat. Fairly rust free, so this is a good piece. But you can tell the frame is starting to get some pretty bad spots in it, and typical rails underneath the bed are starting to rot. So that's unfortunate, because these beds are so stinking expensive. These and the short, well, those actually short bed Dodge beds, that one and that one are like the biggest sellers, but they're so hard to buy for that reason, because all the other salvage yards are looking for them as well. But yeah, this one came in yesterday. This one also came in yesterday, and this thing's getting crushed. This thing is just beat to death. It's got Bondo all over in it. Oh, that big chunk of Bondo. And the bed is rotted. Usually when you see a Dodge or a Chevy, well, and Ford, with these massive fender flares, they're usually trying to hide something. Here, I'll show you. Look at that, huh? Nice. So, this one's getting crushed, but we actually need the axle, both rear drive shafts, and there's something else we needed on this truck. But we're gonna pull what we need and crush the rest. Toyota Tacoma 2001, I think. It's got the 4-cylinder motor with 166,000 miles. So this will be a good seller. We'll park that one out. Got another Jeep Cherokee right here. I don't know what's wrong with this one. I do not have a key. I'll try and get the shade out of your guys, or sun out of your guys' eyes. 99 model, I think this one is. This is a left-hand drive. Like I said, I don't know what's wrong with this one. All of these came in the past, I don't know, 4 days, so, something like that. Old body Subaru. You don't see these often, but it's wrecked and it's got low miles. So we will attempt to sell something on this. This is an old body Legacy. Believe, 94 model. Leather interior, automatic. It's got 124,000 miles on it, hitting the front. So I figure we'll attempt to sell something. I don't know if we will, but you just never know until you try. Got a BMW X5. I think this is an 08. It's got the 4.8 liter. They said that they ran this one off the road and they parked it behind their house. They left the window down and the interior got nasty, and then decided to sell it for junk. So that's why that one's here. Corolla, old body Corolla. This one had low miles on it. Is a rollover. We're gonna keep it till we sell a drivetrain and then crush it. This is a Celica. I'm actually gonna do a separate video on this one, so you guys ignore that one. Mustang. This has got the 3.8 in it. Manual transmission, which we need. Low mileage. I think around 160 on it. It's a rollover. So we'll keep this one till we sell the drivetrain, then it's crushed. Honda Accord, 4-cylinder. Need both motor and tranny. So that's why this one's here. Wrecked in the front. And got a Saturn Ion that is fixing to get crushed. Bad motor, automatic, crazy high mileage, over 250. So that one's gone. All right, I think I got them all. There is some more around here, but those are going to be separate videos, aka that little Volkswagen over there. Sorry about that, I just stepped in that hole. So anyway, appreciate you guys watching. Sorry this is a long video, but there's a lot of cars that's been coming in. We have been insanely busy. We still have over 60 cars that still have to come in. So I'll try and keep you guys posted on what comes in. But I appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you in the next one.